welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my starting lineup in my fantasy football, and we're going to be going over some of my rankings compared to Yahoo Sports here. So we're just going to go through my team first. I did complete a trade with my friend Chad. I traded Chris Carson and I traded AJ Green and Leonard Fournette for Chris Carson and DK Metcalf. And I really thought that was a good one. So we'll see. But this is my matchup for the week. I'm going to be starting, obviously, Deshaun Watson's no-brainer. And then I'm going to start Will Fuller. Cooks is hurt. He's not going to be 100%. So I feel like Will Fuller might be the number one there. We'll see what Randall Cobb does. But I'm going to go ahead and put him in there. He's healthy. Hopefully he plays well and he steps into that kind of DeAndre Hopkins role. And then I'm going to go Keenan Allen. He's going to be hampered by the fact that Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback. But they're playing Cincinnati. It's a great matchup. We don't know what really to expect out of that team. And then obviously Ezekiel Elliott, Chris Carson, no-brainers. Travis Kelce, no-brainer. And then I'm going to put DK Metcalf in there in my flex. And then I'm also in a 2-quarterback league. So basically I have to decide between Phillip Rivers and Baker Mayfield. And I'm going to go Phillip Rivers this week just simply because of the matchup. I don't think we really know what the Colts offense is going to look like. If they're going to be run heavy, how much are they going to pass? But they're playing Jacksonville week 1. Jacksonville, we know, kind of tanking. Going to be a really good matchup, so I'm going to go for it. And Baker Mayfield's playing Baltimore this week, so I'm sitting them. And then I've also got Indianapolis's defense against Jacksonville, so that's going to be my lineup for the week. So I got 3 players playing tonight. I got Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, and Travis Kelce. So we'll have a pretty good idea how the week's going to go starting today. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, number 1. I got Ezekiel Elliott, number 2. I would probably put Josh Jacobs above Ezekiel Elliott just because of the amount that they're going to have to lean on him with the Raiders offense. But we'll see. Ezekiel Elliott's always going to get his touches. And it's going to be a great matchup no matter who it is. But we'll see. Dalvin Cook against Green Bay. I don't know, man. I'm not high on Dalvin Cook this year for whatever reason. And they got the contract dispute, so we'll see. Saquon Barkley against Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be a great matchup. They're going to be using the heck out of Saquon Barkley this year. Derrick Henry. That's going to be it's going to be like it was last year. Derrick Henry, he's got to get you some big play touchdowns. He doesn't give you a lot in the passing game. He's not going to catch 6 or 7 passes a game like some of these guys. So he's got to give you some big runs. But, man, he did it all last year. And some big screen passes. You know what I mean? He just gave you a lot of big plays last year, and that's what gave you all the points. So we'll see. Denver's a good matchup for sure. It's at Denver. So we'll see what the weather looks like there. But that could be a good matchup. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you know, anybody in that Kansas City offense is probably going to be a good fantasy option. At least for right now. And there's a lot of hype on this guy. And so we'll just have to wait and see. I think this is going to be kind of an air it out kind of game, so I don't know that he's necessarily going to be have that great a fantasy value this week, but we'll see. we'll see what that offense looks like too with him. I like Joe Mixon against the Chargers. I'd have him higher than 10, and that would be my first. Yeah, that would be my first kind of stretch pick. All these guys are pretty normal. I started Chris Carson. I think he's going to be the workhorse there in Seattle. Atlanta's going to be a good matchup for him. Nick Chubb, that's a crapshoot with Kareem Hunt. Mark Ingram, he's got some young guys coming after his job. I think Todd Gurley is an interesting play. I'd like to see how that turns out. We'll see what kind of role he has, if they're going to put, how much they're going to put on him. This is the big one, David Johnson. They traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson. There's no way that they're not going to just use the heck out of him. They're paying him his big contract, and they gave up a lot for him. So I see them as using him as a workhorse, but we'll see. We'll see. He couldn't hardly keep his job in Arizona, so we'll see what he does in Houston, but he doesn't really have any competition there. And we got Jonathan Taylor. He's going to split carries 50-50. I think James White would be a really interesting play this week. Their rookie running backs on IR. Sonny Michel, they're acting like he's not going to be 100%. They're going to have him on a pitch count. And so we'll see. But James White doesn't run the ball a lot. He's really just a pass catcher. But it is Miami. It's one of those things where, I don't know, it might be a blowout. Might not see a lot of James White. We'll see. Antonio Gibson, that's one that I'm really high on. I feel like he's going to be the number one running back in Washington. He's going to be a good one to roster right now, and just wait and see how that works out. So let's go to wide receivers. All right, we got Michael Thomas, number one. That's probably pretty accurate. A lot of people are high on Devontae Adams. I don't know if I'm that high on him. You know, the Green Bay Packers had a great year last year without slinging the rock, kind of using the ground game and defense. Julio Jones, obviously going to be big. Tyreek Hill probably should be higher on this list, honestly. Tyreek Hill probably going to have another huge year. I'd probably have him second or third on this list. Chris Godwin's going to be good, but they've got Chris Godwin, they've got Mike Evans, they've got Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard. There's a lot of talent on that team, so I don't know how great of a fantasy option he's going to be. We'll see. Somebody who's going to emerge as the number one target, so we'll see who it is. Allen Robinson, they got Allen Robinson. A lot of people are high on him, but I don't know about that Chicago offense. I mean, somebody's got to catch the ball, but I'm staying away from Chicago's offense. We got Kenny Galladay, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen will be an interesting one now that Diggs is gone. And he's already getting all those targets last year, so I think I would rank him higher just from a pure target standpoint. And then Juju Smith is obviously going to be a big one this year with Ben Roethlisberger back. If he can stay healthy, I think Juju's going to have a great year. Yeah. I got DK Metcalf. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I think Will Fuller is going to be the number one receiver in Houston. We'll see what Randall Cobb does here tonight. We'll see how it works out. We'll get a pretty good idea tonight. Yeah. Cooks he's hurt. I don't think he's going to play. If he does play, he's definitely not going to be 100%. So we'll see what happens. And, Randall Cobb and Will Fuller, they're kind of different. Cobb's the slot guy. I think Fuller is going to be kind of the over the top guy, so we'll see what happens. Ty, if he could stay healthy this year, I think he could have a good year. But again, it's hard to see how the Colts offense is going to be. They could be run heavy like they were last year. You've got a huge difference at quarterback, though. We got Stephon Diggs. We'll be interested to see how the Buffalo offense is the same thing. Run heavy. We'll see if they decide to air it out and change their offense a little bit with more weapons around Josh Allen. So, see what happens. Tight ends. We got George Kittle. Travis Kelce. I think George Kittle will be number one just from the simple fact that, Deebo Samuel's hurt. There's a little bit less of a share going around than there is in Kansas City. So George Kittle probably gonna be a little slightly better fantasy option to start out with. But I like Travis Kelce, obviously. Mark Andrews, probably going to get a lot of touchdowns. I don't know about, as far as PPR touches, but probably going to get some touchdowns. Zach Ertz, I'm waiting on him to have another good year, man. He's kind of been slumping over the last couple of years, kind of been on the down slope. I'm not a big believer in him. He's got a couple other tight ends there that are kind of stealing a lot of reps from him. He's getting older, so I'm not big on Zach Ertz, but he's always consistently getting targets. So we'll see what happens. Carson Wentz, that's a great matchup against Washington, and so number 4 is probably right. Tyler Higbee, I don't know. This is where it becomes a crapshoot because tight ends, you have about 3 or 4 that are just like guaranteed things, and then it's a crapshoot after that. You can see here they got Dallas Goddard, number 13, the backup for Philadelphia. So that just tells you right there the kind of workload share that we're talking about there. Darren Waller, if he's anything like he was last year, he's going to be a top 5 tight end. Especially with the loss of Tyrell Williams there. So there's going to be more targets to go around. I'm high on Darren Waller. Hunter Henry, he's going to be kind of hamstringed by the fact that he's got Tyrod Taylor, but that whole offense could change if Tyrod Taylor if they end up transitioning to their first round pick quarterback. Jared Cook, yeah, I'm not a big believer in Jared Cook. Tight ends have never been real. Yeah, he's never played that huge of a role in New Orleans offense. Hayden Hurst. Hooper was a great tight end whenever he was in Atlanta, so maybe there'll be some targets there. Evan Ingram, not a big believer. Rob Gronkowski, just too much talent there, and it's the same for the Cleveland tight ends. You got Austin Hooper and Njoku, so nobody here that I really feel like could be Eric Ebron would be an interesting pick for Pittsburgh. He's a big playmaker, but man, he drops the ball all the time. Got a lot of drops. So we'll see what happens. Let's go our defense. Like I said, I got Indianapolis's defense here because just the matchup against Jacksonville. They got them ranked 7. They got Pittsburgh number 1 against the Giants. That's not a bad pick. Buffalo against the Jets. Baltimore against Cleveland. Pretty decent. But I feel like the Giants and Cleveland they have, you know, some real offensive firepower there. Same for Arizona against San Francisco, and they played San Francisco really good last year. I'm really high on the Bills against the Jets. I'm really high on Philadelphia against Washington. I like the Colts against Jacksonville. Obviously, the Patriots against Miami, but the Patriots have lost a lot of key players on defense. And we don't know what their offense is going to look like, so maybe the Titans against Denver, that'd be a really good matchup. I'm interested to see how Clowney does with the Titans. I think he's going to be a powerhouse there. No real sleeper picks in here. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Kickers, I'm not going to go over kickers. I guess we can look at them. Justin Tucker is number 1. Always the greatest. Harrison Buckner, just because of sheer volume of scoring. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of switching around on that, I think. All right, so last thing we'll do is we'll pick the game tonight. We'll look at the spread, and we'll pick the outright winner. Chickens! Chickens! All right, guys, we have a very exact science. We got a piece of paper here. Hey, they're coming. We got a piece of paper here. It says Texans and Chiefs. All right, let's lay it out. Lay it out. And we're going to take a little bit of corn. For you. All right, pick one. Is it Chiefs? Is it Chiefs? He's looking like Chiefs. We have a winner. Gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope everybody has a good fantasy weekend, unless you're in my league, and I hope you lose. But we're gonna find out tonight how good of a week it's gonna be early on. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you saw the first chicken pick of the year, and we're gonna make it a tradition for each week. Do some chicken picks. And if you guys like this stuff, please subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.